80%. That's what one damaged nerve, the sciatic nerve, can pay a veteran all by itself. And here's the part nobody warns you about. The VA doesn't rate nerve damage once. It rates it nerve by nerve, and the ratings stack. And when the damage hits both legs, there's a factor buried in the rules that quietly lifts your entire rating, one most veterans never claim. Hold that thought. It's worth a few $100s a month, and we'll do the exact math later, dollar for dollar.
Hey everyone, Nova here. Start with the pattern underneath all of it. The VA doesn't ask what happened to the nerve. It asks how bad the loss is right now, on one scale. Mild, moderate, moderately severe, severe, then complete.
This is River, 80%, one nerve. That's the sciatic, the big one down the back of the leg. Most other nerves top out lower. Same idea, different ceilings.
Fenrir here. Run the two-leg case. Left leg is one rating, right leg is another. The VA combines them. It doesn't simply double the check, but two legs beat one by a lot.
And who gets paid here is you, if you know the second door. Nerve damage doesn't have to start in service to count. If a service-connected condition caused it, diabetes, or a back injury pinching the nerve, the VA ties that neuropathy in. It's all one rulebook, the VA rating schedule.
One warning, and it's the expensive one. Claim only the leg, and the nerves running down it sit there unrated, said once. Name every nerve.
Before we go further, one question first, and the comments already ask the harder version of it. If it's rated per nerve, why do so many veterans walk away with a single low-ball rating for the whole leg?
That's exactly what we're fixing today. The short answer, most claims name the leg, not the nerves, and the nerves are where the money is. And stay with me, because there's one exam that can turn all of it into a flat zero on paper. Everything, the full nerve chart, and a free conditions checker lives at va.professorerica.com. So if every nerve has its own ceiling, which nerve are we even talking about? Let me walk you up the ladder, because this is where the real money hides. Take the sciatic nerve, diagnostic code 8520, the big one. Mild is 10%. Moderate is 20. Moderately severe is 40. Severe, with real muscle wasting, is 60. And complete paralysis of that nerve is 80% on one leg from one nerve. That's the whole ladder for the largest nerve in the body. And almost nobody who files for a bad back ever learns that the nerve running down the leg carries its own separate rating on top.
Yeah, and here's the pattern underneath it. Think of each nerve as its own pay meter on the same building. The sciatic meter runs highest, up to 80. But the femoral, the peroneal, the tibial, those meters top out at 40 each. So which nerve you claim is the whole ball game?
Then the small nerves. Ilio-inguinal, code 8530. Severe to complete, 10%. Mild or moderate, 0. Small nerve, small ceiling.
Take neuralgia, the pain-only version of nerve trouble. That one caps at moderately severe, so the pain alone can still climb pretty high on the ladder.
Moderate, not moderately severe. Neuralgia caps at moderate incomplete paralysis.
Moderate. Right. I hate being wrong that fast. Neuralgia is the pain-only one, and it tops out lower than neuritis, which reaches severe. And that whole ladder, mild to complete, is one doctor in one exam room deciding where you land.
Read it again, slower, Fenrir. Moderate and moderately severe are 40% apart on one leg. And one more line people miss. If your loss is purely numbness, wholly sensory, the rules cap you at mild, or at most moderate. Sensation gone, but strength intact rarely rides the top of the ladder. Let me pause for just a second, because this genuinely helps. If you are getting value here, hit that like button, then subscribe and ring the bell. It costs you nothing, and it is the single biggest thing that keeps these videos coming.
Okay, so each nerve pays on its own. Now watch what two legs do together, because this is where people quietly lose money.
2 legs, 2 ratings. Left sciatic, right sciatic. The VA stacks them. It doesn't treat both legs as one problem.
Let me put the math on the board because the trap is simple. Both legs at moderately severe, 40% each. 40 and 40 feels like 80. It's not. The VA combines ratings on a table, and 40 combined with 40 is 64, which rounds down to 60%.
Same principle shows up in the second door, and it's the bigger one. The way a walking bass line under a song is what really holds the whole thing together. The underlying condition can be what holds your whole claim together. Nerve damage doesn't have to start in service. If a condition the VA already rates caused it, they tie the neuropathy in.
3 common causes. Service-connected diabetes, a spine injury pinching the nerve root, toxic exposure that frays the nerves. Anyone opens the door.
And that spine cause is worth seeing because the nerves branch right off the lower spine before they run down the leg. Pinch them up here, and the numbness shows up way down there.
Take the common mistake. You claim the back, you never claim the nerve running down the leg, and you never mention the diabetes that caused it. 2 doors, both left shut.
The damage even maps out on the skin. Each spinal nerve owns a strip of the leg and foot, which is how an examiner traces exactly which nerve is failing.
Reluctantly, okay. If the ratings combine instead of add, does claiming both legs even move my check? Or is it a wash? Because honestly, that's the fear.
It moves it, and by more than you'd guess. Whether it's always worth chasing is exactly what the panel is about to fight over. Then we put the real check in front of you. Here's the fork we owe you. Nova says if the damage is real, claim every nerve in both legs now. The money is sitting there. Fenrir says a weak nerve claim can drag your whole file and come back low. I file every receipt in my house down to the itemized line, so I take documentation seriously. But even I want to hear this one out. Nova, make your case.
The money isn't abstract. Both legs at moderately severe is a 70% rating once the bilateral factor lands. That's over $1,800 a month for damage a nerve study can measure today. Waiting a year to feel ready leaves that on the table every single month.
Run the downside. A borderline nerve, wholly sensory, caps at moderate, maybe 20%, and a thin claim invites a thin exam. You can drag a strong claim by stapling a weak one to it.
Fenrir, put a line on borderline. When's a nerve worth claiming and when's it just noise?
One question first. Is there a nerve study or a real deficit? If yes, claim it. If it's occasional tingling with no test behind it, that's the one I'd hold.
Hold on. Tingling with a diabetes diagnosis isn't noise.
Fair. If it's secondary to something already rated, the link is half built. That one I'd file. I fold on it.
Nova, does the drag risk change your always?
It sharpens it. Every documented nerve. File it. A pure numbness nerve with no test. Get the study first, then file. I'll give Fenrir that. It's not free.
So here's where the panel lands, and the regulation backs it. Here's what I'd actually do. File every nerve that a study or a real deficit documents, and always file a nerve that's secondary to a condition you already hold. When a nerve is borderline and wholly sensory, get the nerve study first because the rules cap sensory-only loss at moderate anyway. The smart play is to chase the evidence, not the maximum. That's my honest verdict. Remember the factor I told you to hold on to up top? Time to cash it in real dollars. Both legs, moderately severe nerve damage, and the number the VA almost never explains.
60% first. 40 and 40 combined to 64, which rounds to 60. Hold right there.
Now watch the lift. The bilateral factor adds 10% of that combined value, and 60 becomes 70. 70%. For a single veteran in 2026 comes to $1,808.45 a month.
Now put the plain combined rating next to it. 60% without the factor comes to $1,435.02.
So the factor all by itself, The one hardly anyone claims is $373.43 a month. Same injury, same two legs. That's the pattern underneath the whole episode. The money lives in the details you actually name.
$4,481 a year. For a factor you claim just by listing both legs.
Wait, you actually have to list both legs to get it?
Exactly, and that's why the form matters. It goes on VA Form 21-526EZ, Item 16. You name each nerve, each leg, and the condition that caused it. Let me walk you through the exact box. Look at this. Because a stacked claim is won or lost right here. You write left sciatic radiculopathy, then right sciatic radiculopathy, then the diabetes as the cause. Vague here, and the rater guesses low. Specific here, and you have handed them the whole stack.
Take the timing. Your back pay runs from the day the VA receives your claim, not the day you finally feel ready. Every month you wait is a month you don't get back.
File the day you're ready. Next, we called in someone who reads these nerve exams for a living because every dollar here runs through one appointment.
Every dollar here runs through one exam. Get it wrong, and real nerve damage reads as nothing.
And that exam has a name. The nerve study. An EMG measures how the signal actually travels. Let me get someone who reads these for a living on the line.
Glad to jump in. The nerve study is the hinge. It separates real nerve loss from a bad day, and it matters how you lost it. Motor loss, real weakness, rates higher, numbness alone caps at moderate.
So each nerve is still its own pay meter, and the study is what reads the meter.
Exactly, and the bar for that link is low. Reach even odds, what the VA calls at least as likely as not, and it clears.
Wait, even odds, not beyond doubt?
Not beyond doubt. You tip it to even, and the benefit of the doubt goes to you. One honest guardrail. No current deficit, no rating, so document the numbness now, while it shows. Read your own records first, then thanks for having me on.
That's the part no pamphlet gives you. Appreciate you jumping on.
File where there's a deficit. Skip a clean, numb-free nerve, said once.
The one rule to carry out of here, name every nerve and file where a study shows a real deficit. Let's bring it home. Here's everything in a single breath. The VA rates nerve damage per nerve on a ladder from mild to complete, and every affected nerve and leg is a separate rating that's stacked.
The pattern underneath it all. The money lives in the details you name. One line for the leg misses the nerves. Name every nerve.
One number to keep. Both legs, moderately severe, lands at 70% once the bilateral factor is in, said once.
And the honest half. Chase the evidence, not the maximum. A numb-only nerve with no study behind it's the one to hold.
Also, the second door. If diabetes or a bad back caused it, that's a claim most veterans never think to file.
Next time we stay on the nerve chart, and here's the hook. There's one nerve injury that pays even when every strength test comes back normal. Wait until you see how that works. Your move tonight. Pull your own records and hunt for two phrases, reduce sensation or weakness. If a doctor already wrote either one down, half your claim is already built. Tap subscribe and you'll catch the next benefit in this VA walkthrough the day it drops. And a quick like helps the veteran who needs this find it next. Last thing, and it goes down in the comments. Did the VA rate your whole leg as one thing when the nerves running down it should have counted separately? Nobody guards your money like you do. See you next time.